So sometimes once you make a sale, you might have a customer that wants to back out on you. Maybe something went bad. I'm getting ready to show you guys that in real life. I'm getting ready to call a client of ours. He's about a $30,000 a year client. We don't want to lose him. He's trying to cancel service. So I'm going to show you exactly how you handle a client trying to cancel service. So stick with me, and we're going to do this thing live right now on Periscope here. It's a live call.
Hello?
Kim?
Yeah, this is Kim.
Hey, it's DJ Carroll.
I'm extremely upset with the way this has been handled. I asked to get this taken care of. I talked to you about it the month back before March or April even started about getting the weed control on these dandelions. I was told by Rob it was going to be taken care of 2 weeks ago on Thursday, not this last Thursday, not the one before that. And it still hadn't been done. And nobody said, I complained again the next week, and finally the next week. And then I finally get a note from him yesterday saying he's going to come out tomorrow. Well, he already told me he's coming out twice already that he didn't come. Now, this is ridiculous. We got billed for 4 mows last week, and we only had 3 mows. Got billed for a weed eat that they didn't do. The treatment that they didn't do because that's what he had done. So I'm upset about that, too. And then when I called to find out what's going on, whether he's going to show up, and the person on the phone says, well, I can't get a hold of him. I can't let you know anything right now. I said, well, if you can't do anything about it, I guess we'll just go ahead and get a different service. I'm tired of this. This is ridiculous. I was promised you were going to have someone on site to take care of this stuff last year. You said for sure there would be someone on site to take it. Well, these 2 guys you got on site now are just flunkies, I guess, but they're doing the work that they're getting them to do, but they're not the one in charge. Not doing anything. I've got too many complaints from people. Everybody's complained for almost the whole month about the dandelion problem. It's still horrible. It's worse than the dandelion problem we've had since you all have been here. It's worse than before you all came. And I don't think anything's been done. It don't look like y'all felt it was important enough to send somebody out here to talk to me. After you told me also you were going to send a supervisor over to talk to me last week.
Yeah, Jeremy came last week, but let me go back to the original thing there. When Rob came out, he came out actually the 1st of April or the end of March and actually did your guys' first treatment. So in March, we do a pre-emergent and also your first nitrogen treatment, okay? And then what happens is True Green, Scott's, all the large companies, Kim, they don't come out and treat dandelions until the first week of May normally. Now, we've had a bunch of rain that's kind of backed us up because the granular treatment is the first treatment, so the rain doesn't matter with that. But if we come out and spray your dandelions and it rains that day or the next day, it's not going to do anything to them, and then you're going to really be pissed because you'll think I'm just spraying water and not doing anything. I've got Rob set up to come out tomorrow. When he called, he told me that when he spoke to you, he said that we would come out when we were mulching to do your application, which we were going to do next week. But I told him, no, we need to get it moved up the first time spot that we have open to get these guys taken care of. We need to, which was going to be tomorrow. The guys mowing.
Hold on. That's not what he told me. When I was out here and I was talking to him, he said he would come out 2 weeks ago. He said he would come out over 2 weeks ago. That following Thursday, he would come out and he would spray them with a backpack sprayer that day. That's 2 Thursdays ago. That's not today, not last week, the week before last.
Okay. So
he told me he was going to do it, and I never received a call saying he wasn't going to do that. The only thing I hear from him again is when he sends me that email yesterday saying that he's going to come out Friday to do it. I said, well, that's not going to get it. I mean, I should have got a call telling me that this was, and you're saying that you don't normally spray them. Well, regardless of whether you normally spray them or not, why would he tell me he's coming out and then not come?
Well, because we were trying to get you squared away, man. And if it was a mix-up on communication, I'm sorry, but Kim, I mean, we've got a long-standing relationship, man, and I think we've taken care of you guys. And to drop us over some dandelions that we were going to get out and spray tomorrow, it just kind of sounds premature to me. I would hope that you would give me an opportunity to make this right. I mean, you remember, I mean, when we broke the...
At the same time he was out here, the next door neighbor trimmed his tree down, and he had a bunch of branches he stacked up in the yard, and he talked to Rob at the same day, and he asked Rob, could you take them away? And he said that they would take them away over 2 weeks ago. They're still laying in the yard, and your guys are just weed eating around and leaving the grass growing up in between the piles of sticks, branches. Now, it wasn't their responsibility to take them away, but when Rob said he was going to, I expected him, and regardless of whether he took them away, I expect him to keep the grass cut where they're at anyway.
Right. And I mean, that's the first I've heard of that, so I don't know if Rob didn't put that on the work order or what, but, I mean, the deal with the dandelions, I mean, let's handle one at a time here. I mean, we're spraying the dandelions for you, man, 2 weeks early. We did do a fertilizer application. We always bill you guys the third week of the month for the services for that month. So we bill that next week. I mean, we're going to be out there next week to mow, which would be your 4 mowings for the month. So the first application was for the pre-emergent and for the fertilizer, and then, you know, we were going to come out tomorrow and do the broadleaf treatment for you.
Okay, we also need to talk to you about not billing us until the month was up, because usually, I don't know if this new girl's going to be like the other one, the one girl you had would be calling saying, hey, where's our check at? And we said, well, you bill us once a month, and we pay you then.
Right.
And she sent this bill out because that finally got hers where she was doing it correctly, sending them to us after the treatment time. But this girl sent it to us. I said, well, we're going to go back to what we've been having a problem with for the last 2 years.
No, there's no problem. I mean, we treated you guys in March. I didn't even send you a bill in March. We just saved it for your April bill.
Yeah, well, and then the mulching, you know, I know that haven't done the mulching yet, but I got my next door neighbor here. I'm looking at it right now. There's right in the middle of his, the guy. I said I watched the guy weed eat around the whole thing here. There's a weed that's at least 1.5 feet tall and 6 inches to 8 inches across. It's obviously a weed, not a flower. It's going right up in the middle of the bed, 2 feet from where he did the weed eating it, and he didn't bother cutting that down.
I mean, my guys.
Around it or anything. It's a sticker bush weed.
My guys don't weed eat in the mulch beds, Kim. If I did that, you'd be calling me because they accidentally cut up a flower. We tell them to stay in the turf grass to make sure nothing happens. And, you know, we've had a ton of rain in April, so not being out to mulch yet, there's nothing I can do about Mother Nature.
Well, this isn't just me complaining about this. I've got more complaints this year than I've had in the past year.
Kim, we've been out there for 2 weeks. I don't understand how that can happen.
Everybody's calling complaining about the dandelions. I've got.
Okay, well, and then I mean, you can.
I'm being swamped about it because this is worse than they've ever been.
I understand that, and we were going to come out tomorrow to spray them for you guys. I mean, are you guys really, I mean, you're willing to throw away a 3-year relationship after we've taken care of doors, siding that we didn't even tear up and paid for, a line that I didn't think we cut but we paid for. I mean, I've paid probably $2,000 worth of fixing stuff around there. We came out in the middle of that ice storm, took care of those trees, and then the snow blower, Kim, you're not going to find another lawn care company that'll send their guy out to let you borrow a truck.
And I was fighting to keep you here. They wanted to fire you last week when you didn't take care of them. I would say, well, okay, they're going to come out, and I'm telling everybody you're going to come out and treat, like I said 2 Thursdays ago. Then they said, where are they at? And I said, well, they said, like I said, can you come last week? That 2 weeks ago, they'll come next Thursday. You didn't come that day. I had people come and say, well, you've told me. See, I'm going by what you're telling me. I'm telling these people, and then they come back, well, okay, you told me this.
But they've got to understand, Kim, that we're in the lawn care business, man. Schedules move around and change, and just I can't just keep. That's the thing that a lot of our customers don't understand is that when rain comes in and we have as many rain days as we have, dude, we're still catching up with work from March. But I told Rob, because we've been with you guys for so long.
Hold on. Now, if that's true, I understand that. But at the point when you weren't going to come out, what should I have received?
Okay, so you want us to call you when something reschedules?
You told me specifically you're coming out that day, regardless. You didn't say that's about rain or anything else. If you told me you're coming, he should have called me, correct?
We can. We normally don't because we don't want to bother our customers.
Well, I was expecting expecting him, and here I am. I wouldn't have been telling them people that you're coming out the next week or the next week if I'd been known that he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Right. And Kim, and
that might have taken a whole lot of the problems that were thrown on me off of me.
I understand. And I mean, I gave you a stack of cards last year, man. You're more than happy to have them call us with complaints. We're set up to handle that, and we can talk to them, so it's less stress on you. I mean, I'm not trying to make your job more difficult than it is, but it went from everybody was happy when I come to the HOA meeting. I talked to Jim, he's happy, he's not even worried about the dandelions, to now it's like you guys are willing to drop us just because we haven't got your dandelions yet.
Well, that was the reason I called, but the reason that I wanted to drop you is because I wasn't getting any response back. I fear that's poor customer relations, that someone didn't contact me back and let me know what's going on. When I had already called in twice yesterday, talked to your person in the store. I called this morning when I called about to talk to your office. And here it is, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I get a call back. If you're about to lose an account because of the call, when you think you would call me or have someone call me back in a few minutes trying to save this account?
That's why I'm calling you, because when that email came through, I've been in appointments all day long. I'm calling you personally because I don't want to lose this account, and I told no one else to call you back until I had time to talk to you. And I knew that this wasn't going to be a 3-minute phone call, so I wanted to make sure that I had as much time to talk to you. So I've booked out of 30 minutes to talk to you on the phone because I want to make sure that we figure something out to keep you guys on board. Kim, you've been with us for 3 years, dude. We bend over backwards for you guys. It's just if you.
I understand, but I felt that you weren't responding, especially when you told me that the supervisor, when I talked to you last, was going to come out here himself and check the property out. He never showed up.
He came out and he asked Brandon where you were at, and he said that you weren't there. So I guess what happened was the day I talked to you, I thought he was coming out later in that afternoon. He had already came out earlier that day when you weren't there. So, I mean, if you want me to drive to Louisville and drive to your property and walk it every week with you, Kim, I don't care. I want to keep you guys. I want to do what it takes.
Hold on. I don't want you to come out here, but you told me last year you were going to make sure there was somebody on site who was going to be in charge of it, and neither one of these two guys are taking charge that you have out here now, or taking charge of any situation. You know what I'm saying? This is what you promised me last year.
I promised you that I would let Rob be on site more, and that I was hiring a GM. I've got GM. His name is Jeremy. I can give you his cell phone number so you can call him directly.
You call me, but there's nobody on site to make sure these problems are taken care of when I say I've got a problem. I don't care if he just checks in and leaves, but he needs to check in at least.
Right, and that was the thing. Jeremy,
that's what you told me was going to happen.
Jeremy was there last week, but you weren't there. He can't check in if no one's there.
When I talked to you, I stayed around here after I talked to you the whole rest of the day.
He came earlier that day, Kim. That was my mistake. I didn't know that he came that day. But, I mean, what I'm offering you is a solution. We can point fingers and play the blame game all day long. I'm trying to offer you a solution that Rob will be out there tomorrow to spray. My guys have been there to mow. They called and said that you weren't upset with any of the mowing or anything. We're going to get you on the already have you on the schedule for mulch.
The same problem we've had for the last 2 years is still going on. With the backyard, they took that big mower back there, or that place that gets muddy. They've already been told they're supposed to take. That's why we had the discussion. You said you were going to have somebody on site to make sure it was done right. Where they're running a little more to keep from running them big ruts in the backyard behind Sharon Dedman's house.
Right,
and they've already mowed twice back there with a big mower and messed up the yard again.
I was just informed of that yesterday of her house, so we put that on work order. So they shouldn't be mowing that with the push mower anymore, or they shouldn't be mowing that with the big mower anymore.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is last year's issue that was supposed to already be taken care of.
Right.
Correct?
Well, and I mean, I apologize. That's me. That's me dropping the ball on that. I should have got that on the work order. But I just don't want you guys to drop us on a whim over some freaking dandelions, man. When you're not gonna, I can tell you, Kim, you're not gonna find a customer that will treat you guys the way that we do. I mean, I'm every time you need.
Satisfied with it. I was willing to work with it until I got told that something was going to be done. Wasn't done. Then you call back to tell me that he wasn't coming. Something else that came up. And then I let it go a week. I said, well, maybe the rains. I still didn't get a call back. He didn't send a message to me until last night. So, it was 2 Thursdays ago, he said he was coming out.
Yes, 2 Thursdays. On the 9th when they were there, that's when Rob came out. And Rob told, the information I got was Rob told you we'd spray it when we mulch. If that was a different story than he told you, I'll have to take that up with Rob for not communicating efficiently. But I can tell you I have you scheduled to get in tomorrow to spray those dandelions.
Next door.
And I can tell you, Kim, that we're already booking stuff out at the end of May.
Oh, could you notice that?
Are you there?
Yeah, I was talking to the lady. She just dropped off mail. She was trying to figure out why I had 2 mailboxes in front of my house. One was the East Bay mailbox and one was my box.
Right. Kim, give me 30 days to get this squared away, man. Let me come out, get your dandelions sprayed tomorrow. Let me talk with Brandon and Marcos. Thursday, when they come out next Thursday on the 30th, I'll make sure that Jeremy is there while they're mowing. I'll make sure he meets with you. Make sure he walks the property with you. I'll call Jeremy. I'll call Rob right now when I get off the phone with you. Let them know what the hell happened and that we need to tighten up ship while we're there. And I'll call Brandon and Marcos personally and let them know that they need to make sure they're not using the big mower in her backyard anymore. Which it shouldn't be an issue because I know that we addressed it last week. But I'll just reiterate it with them. And man, I mean, it's just. I want to make sure we can take care of you guys, but, things like this come up and we work through them, and I think that we worked through them in the past pretty well, and I just want to, if you can give me 30 days to turn this thing back around, I'll make sure things are tightened up a lot better. It's been a rainy April.
Like I said, I mentioned to you back in March that we had the dandelion problems. That's why when he told me he was going to come out and spray for him, I said, well, I expected him to come. And then he didn't call me, and he didn't call me again.
It's our second.
And he's not even going to be out. Really, it'd be 3 Thursdays he's missed. Because even with the thing coming out Friday, it's 3 Thursdays.
No. He told you on the 9th. So it's only been, if he didn't spray on the 9th, then it was last week he didn't come out. It's a week after that he's coming out. So let him come out tomorrow, spray for you guys, and give me 30 days to get this tightened up, man. And if in 30 days people are still bitching and moaning about it, then we can have that conversation then.
Okay. I'm gonna let it go this time, but I need to see this improvement. I mean, especially with communication. I thought this was already taken care of last year with having somebody on site to make sure I didn't have to go through have to chase somebody down all day long looking for somebody about a problem with the service. Right.
I got you. I'll make sure Jeremy. I mean, you want Jeremy to stop by once a week then?
Yeah, at least contact me and see if there's any problems. And when I do, he needs to take care of them when I tell him there's a problem.
Okay. That's fair enough. I'm on board with that. I don't have an issue with that. And then I'll check in with you personally every couple of weeks just to make sure all those guys are meeting your needs. And if there's any changes that need to be done, then I can take it up with them directly.
Okay.
Sound fair enough?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Kim.
Bye.
All right, so that was a 17-minute conversation with a pissed-off property manager. And so it would have been very easy for me just to look at it and say, you know what, we lost this account, it sucks, oh well. And, I had to give him some pushback as well, but I just saved a potentially $30,000 account. Was he being a little bit over the top, over eccentric? Yes, probably. But it's one of those things where you got to have those conversations sometimes with your customers, and when you have those with your customers, then you get to keep your $30,000 account. So my team will get it turned around. We won't have to worry about it. We can avoid this confrontation, so to speak, and keep these guys on the schedule. That's how you do it. That's how it's done.